Hi there, Kevin McAlister from Your Wellbeing. So, how do we create positive behaviour change? I'm going to share a three-step model with you, grounded in neuroscience, is going to help you to either create some new pathways or strengthen some other existing pathways to form healthy habits when it comes to developing your health and well-being and reclaiming that balance that many of us have lost. So there's three steps. The first step is the will. You've got to have the will, the motivation, the drive. If you haven't got that internal motivation and drive to change, you won't. It will be very short lived. And you'll be back to square one. And we've all experienced this. We have a great idea, and then a week later, it's gone. So it has to be a real strong motivator. So identifying whether you've got that will. If you don't, that's completely fine, and that's where coaching is so good. And it's something that I've done, and we do through Lift Your Wellbeing, is we can help provide that motivation and that will. So be honest with yourself. Do you have it? Do you have enough of it to sustain that positive behavior change? And if you don't, no dramas, but you just know you need that support. Next up is the way. So you maybe you are highly motivated, but you just need someone to tell you how to do it, an expert, someone who's done it before, to provide you maybe the knowledge or a bit more of the steps involved. So whether it's getting fit and you want someone to help you put together a bit of a training program, so some guidance with running, or if it's to do with nutrition or sleep, like just a little bit more around some of the ways and the knowledge behind that behavior change. So again, another thing that you might have, and if you've got it, beautiful, you're good to go. But also that's where you can tap into experts and coaching, just to get a little bit of help with the way. So we've got the will, the way, and next up is the habit, and that's probably the hardest part. Is how do we develop these new habits, these neural pathways, so that when you wake up in the morning and you just the neural pathway fires that, yep, I'm going to chuck on my trainers and go for a nice walk, or so that's, we're trying to develop habits, so that the pathways from the brain through the body are really strong and formed, and it just becomes second nature for you. So this is the tricky part, and again, where you need to just keep working at it. I'll show you a new model in a second, which is going to help to develop the habit. So 21 days to develop a new habit, is that correct? Probably not, unfortunately. If it was 21 days to develop a new habit, I reckon we'd all be fit, healthy, minimal stress, very balanced life. Unfortunately, not how it works. The research tells us it can take from 5 days. So some habits are easy, and that can be 5 days, job done. You've just implemented it. Others can take up to 250 days. Some of the research shows us. So don't think anyone wants to do a 250-day challenge, but it just shows you that there's a big range of time needed to develop new habits. So 21 days is a nice number, but for a lot of habits, it takes longer, and you've potentially done something yourself where it's a short-term challenge. It's been great, but then if you look down the line a couple of months, you've fallen back into old habits. So how do we form new habits? That's a really important thing for us to discuss. And there's a really great model, which I'm going to share with you, called the Rewire model. And this is developed by neuroscientist Dr. Sarah McKay, who I studied under and I'm a big fan of. So she deserves this credit. But Rewire. So I'll run through a few of these. So the reason, step one, is your why. Why do you want to change? Why do you want to start eating a healthier diet? Why do you want to start exercising more, sleeping better, stressing less, spending more time with your family? You've got to have a really strong reason and a strong why to do this. So that's step one. Think about it and peel back the layers. So you might say, "Oh, I want to get fit and healthier for so I feel good. Why do you want to feel better?" And then just keep asking that why, go a bit deeper, and then we've got a strong why. You can move forward. So engage is next. Engage is about learning from the best, getting feedback. So how do you know how you're going? Who's keeping you accountable? That type of thing. Again, that's where coaching comes in, or peer support, friendship groups. You need to to be able to get some feedback, or even things like My Fitness Pal, a great app for tracking your nutrition. That can be a way of getting that feedback. Feel is about your emotional state. If you're highly stressed, it's hard to change. Especially if we look think about nutrition, for example. If you're in a highly stressed state, you're going to be craving different foods at different times, struggling to sleep. It's going to make things hard. So you want to be in a state where you're not too stressed, or fairly low stress. You're highly sort of emotionally involved in it. So and your rewards are intrinsic. That's a really important part, that you're sort of feeling internal reward for going on this journey of behavior change. So really important. Imagine's a good one. That's all about visualization. You can develop these neural pathways or strengthen them through visualization. So by thinking about going for that run when you wake up in the morning, you are strengthening those pathways. So you're more likely then, when you get up in the morning, to get out and go for that run, or to attend a yoga class we run, or something along that nature. So visualization is a really important part of it. Visualization plus the action. Visualization by itself probably won't do it, but yeah, it definitely helps strengthen. Repeat, fairly self-explanatory. You need to do things over and over again to develop those pathways. We're trying to strengthen neural pathways so this stuff becomes second nature. You got to do it over and over, and then more likely to stick. And then E for ego. Ego is around your self-talk, really. Like, you're saying, not that I'm going to become a healthy person who lives a balanced life, but I am a healthy person that wants to live a balanced life, and just make sure I engage with my hobbies and my friends, and that sort of thing. And that I regularly exercise. It's how you talk to yourself is really important. To Which reflected then in your thought patterns and in your actions. So I hope this has been helpful. Shout out, we are here to help you with any of these steps: the will, the way, the habit. Have a think about whatever your goal is from a health and wellbeing perspective, and maybe which area there could be could be lacking. Like I say, you might have all the drive in the world, fantastic. You just need to know the way, or it might be the other way around. You might know how to eat a healthy diet, but you just need a little bit of support, someone to check in with you and help with that drive and motivation. All right, that's enough from me, guys. Speak to you very soon.